Hello, I thought I would do 8 variations on a pigeon. Pigeon's great for a glute stretch, can also help with stretching different areas, and there are quite a few poses that you can do from it, so it's quite a versatile pose, you might say. So without further ado, here's the first one. The first one I call a proud square. It's sort of a more correct pigeon, and I'll show you why. So, set up in my pigeon. What is quite common for us just to collapse and give up here. So the first thing I do for my proud pigeon is really raise my chest up. So with that, I'm pushing down on my legs to really raise my chest up. The next thing I do is square my hips. So not this glamorous turned out position, but outside knee facing down. The back hip pulls forward whilst the front hip pulls back. And I am in my proud pigeon. Park this in your head because it will come into use later. The next one is a layout. This is where you lay face down. It just intensifies the stretch a bit. It is one of my favourite poses because it's great to watch telly in. So I set up in my pigeon, proud pigeon, and then what I want to do is lower down my chest as much as I can whilst maintaining a straight back. None of this curved business. If you're coming to here with your arms out and straight back, that is much better than curving. So another thing is that you can walk the hands forward until you feel your maximum stretch. And then back up. The next one is a quad stretch. What you're going to do is grab the back foot. I like to grab up on the ankle, and then I pull it in towards my rib. I use my other hand to balance just straight ahead, and for some people this might be enough of a quad stretch. For me, I pull it right in because I've got quite a flexible quad. So in this position it takes it out of the glute really and more into the quad, but you can always switch between glute and quad. The next thing, it comes from this position. So we are in our pigeon and we're going to do a mermaid. So I bring my leg up. And what I do, very similar, I'm dragging it towards me, not all the way down towards my rib, but just enough to sneak my elbow in. For some people, this might be enough and excruciating. For others, what you want to do is firmly clamp your leg into your elbow, bring the outside hand up over your head, and create a bind into your mermaid. From here, I want to square my shoulders and hips towards the front. What this does is that it's stretching my back and shoulders, so it's a good prep for the next thing, which is King Pigeon. So just a thing about King Pigeon. King Pigeon involves a foot to head. So you're grabbing a foot and you're pulling it in towards your head. It's quite advanced, so make sure you're very comfortable with your mermaid. You've got quite happy shoulders, so you're working on your active flexibility of your shoulders. They're quite flexible, and then you have got a decent upper back. So I'll give you steps with this. So if you haven't done it before, make sure you work in steps and do lots of regressions to make sure you're really ready for your King Pigeon. So in terms of regressions, your mermaid, your quad stretch, and your active foot to head, which I'll show you later, and then just things like cobras and war angels. I'm eventually going to do a shoulder flexibility video, but yeah, ask your local instructor if you're unsure about what kind of prep for King Pigeon, or a yoga instructor. So I set up in my pigeon, I bring the leg up. So what I'm doing here, I want to make sure my outside foot is flexed and pointing to the floor. My outside hand is holding a tray of champagne. I bring it all the way towards my leg. I wrap. My thumb stays the same side as my shoulder, and my other fingers go the other side. So even just doing this when you're starting out is very difficult. So if you keep practicing bringing your hand towards your foot and bring your foot up and flexed, that's fine. Alternatively, you can use a yoga strap. So So I bring it up to here, and then first thing I do, I bend. I bend my elbow. I can bend it a few times, get it nice and juicy. I bend it and I do the foot to head. I can also join my other hand above for the true king pigeon. If you're working with a strap, make sure it's a non-stretchy strap, so like an actual proper yoga strap, not a resistance band. Loop it around the foot and avoid the whole pulling the strap up here. Try to walk your hand as close by as you can. I never did this with a strap for some reason. I just sort of did the regressions for ages and it sort of eventually clicked. There is another way of getting into it, which I will show you, which involves going via a mermaid. You do a baby mermaid and then you bring the leg towards your quad stretch, bring the free hand above, snake, the inside hand underneath, grab, and bring it over your head. Quite intense and quite advanced. So yeah, king pigeon is like the hardest thing. The next thing is a prayer twist, which is a lot less difficult. So back to my normal pigeon, all I'm doing, clasp the hands together, turn towards the foot that's bent. I put my elbow into my foot and make sure my bottom leg is firmly into the ground, and I twist up to the ceiling. An option is to make a fist out of your bottom hand and press against it. As you breathe in, you want to bring some length and then twist as you exhale. The next one is a thrusting pigeon. Sounds a bit racy, but it's not. So what we are doing is setting up on our pigeon, and what we're doing, we're going up on the back toes. So a bit like an active lunge. So back foot or toes if you wish. And from here, I'm making sure my hips are nice and square, and I'm thrusting my hips up to the ceiling. This is very active and quite hard. You can just hold this sort of up dog pigeon position if you want, and to make it harder you go onto your ankle. Another option is to bring a yoga block with you and do a needle variation, where you bring the yoga block behind you in pulses or just sets. And the last one is just an active foot to head. It's quite hard, so I'm in my pigeon, I actively bring my leg behind me. I like to put my hands on my hat by my legs, think about the proud pigeon, and then stretch back. I wasn't going very far. The thing with the active pigeon is that it's a very long journey to an active foot to head. For that, you really want to be thinking about your proud pigeon, square hips, chest all the way back, nice upper back activation, and squeezing the leg in towards your head. So there you have it, 8 pigeon variations. There's a lot to play with, so even if you're quite familiar with these, there might be a couple you want to just add into your stretching routine. So enjoy!